Hi, I'm Rhonda Irvin, one of the school counselors here at Lumpkin County High School. We are going to be going over and sharing a lot of information that you'll need to know about the dual enrollment program and the process. First, we'd like to share an overview of dual enrollment and what it is. Dual enrollment is a state-funded program in Georgia that allows our high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors to earn college credit toward a post-secondary certificate, diploma, or degree while simultaneously earning credit toward their high school diploma. Students may earn up to 30 semester credit hours of eligible college courses, and this can include academic core courses or career and technical courses for specific careers. And again, these college courses are funded by the state, so it gives our students a chance to earn college credit while it is being paid for by the state. Now, there are some courses through dual enrollment that may require a small fee for lab or other materials that would be the responsibility of the student or family. For students to be successful in a dual enrollment program, we have found that it is important that they dedicate themselves to studying, that these students are able to prioritize their college level coursework. Students need to be able to manage 2 separate calendars of days off, because most times the college calendar will be different than the high school calendar. They also have different expectations, so students need to be able to manage these 2 separate calendars. Also, students need to be able to manage on-campus and or online courses and assignments. Dual enrollment students have a higher level of responsibility and maturity. It is a huge commitment, and there is a lot of things that are asked of students. Also, successful dual enrollment students need to be able to ask for help and to be able to communicate with all of their professors. Again, dual enrollment is a chance for students to earn college and high school credits at the same time. But again, the graduation requirements are still the same. Students need 28 credits to graduate from Lumpkin County High School. As you see here, 4 credits of English, 4 in math, 4 in science, 4 in social studies, 1 in health and personal fitness, 3 courses in a pathway, and then 8 additional elective courses. Students who are enrolled in dual enrollment classes in the program will continue to have their individual graduation plan. Several of the dual enrollment classes will cover a 4th English credit or a 4th math credit, but students will see their graduation plan and their dual enrollment courses will be noted on their plan. Again, the dual enrollment classes fit. Few examples are like English 1101 or English 1102, which are dual enrollment college classes. They can count as a 4th English. There are certain college level sciences that count toward a 4th science for high school. Econ 1101 and other economic classes can count for the economics requirement for seniors. Several math classes will count as a 4th level math. A dual enrollment history class can count for their U.S. history requirement in high school. So there are several dual enrollment courses that coincide with the requirements for high school completion.
How does dual enrollment fit for scheduling classes that meet both high school and college requirements? This slide shows typical examples that many of our students may opt to do for their dual enrollment academic core classes. So for example, students need a 4th English. Most of our students who do dual enrollment may take English 1101 to meet that requirement, or English 1102 if they've taken AP language and passed the AP exam with a 3 or higher here at the high school. College level sciences like chemistry, biology, environmental science, physics, those can count as the 4th science option for high school graduation requirements. Math, so typically college algebra, statistics, or even college pre-calculus, calculus, count for the 4th and above math requirements for high school graduation. Some of our students may opt to do the History 211 or 2112 to count as the U.S. history requirement for their high school graduation. And then econ, there's 3 different college econ courses that can count as the high school graduation required econ credit. This is only scheduled during senior year for our students. Also, any eligible dual enrollment class, whether it's an academic class or a career technical type of course that a student is interested in, like cosmetology, marine technology, early childhood, any of those academic or career tech dual enrollment classes can meet the elective total credits needed to graduate from high school. Dual enrollment classes can be scheduled both on campus or online. Which format those classes are offered at the college each semester is controlled by the college, so that's not something that Lumpkin County can help students be aware of all the time, because the college course schedule is subject to change. But many of our academic core classes at both UNG or Linear Tech or some of the other local 4-year or 2-year colleges, typically the academic classes have online or campus options. They are first come, first serve, so truly students who are early bird gets the worm type of situation. If they complete their dual enrollment process and paperwork more quickly, they're at the front of the registration process to try to get the best available choices for the times, the campus classes that they need to make their high school or other commitments work. A lot of the career technical classes, so in specific majors, so for example at Linear Tech, students taking automotive classes or construction or culinary or things like that, a lot of those classes may only be offered on campus at specific times depending on the semester. So a lot of the time students interested in those particular courses will need access to transportation or to work closely with the college advisor to be able to schedule those classes. Next, we'll talk about how dual enrollment impacts both Hope Scholarship GPA progress and Lumpkin County's high school GPA. So first I'll start with Hope Scholarship GPA, which is separate than a student's Lumpkin County high school GPA that students and parents see in Infinite Campus. The Hope Scholarship GPA is only visible to students and families through gafutures.org, as well as to counselors. That's calculated by the state Georgia Student Finance Commission. The Hope Scholarship GPA requires that students have a 3.0 or higher Hope Scholarship GPA, plus taking 4 rigor classes or more during high school to be eligible for Hope Scholarship. Dual enrollment academic classes do count as rigor classes, and they also go into a student's Hope Scholarship GPA progress. They do not count in a student's total amount of credits taken. So when a student graduates from high school, they still have their total amount of availability for Hope Scholarship. Dual enrollment does not count against the total available Hope funds when a student graduates, but dual enrollment classes do count in a student's potential eligibility for Hope Scholarship, because their grades in their dual enrollment classes still matter in getting that GPA to where it needs to be to earn Hope Scholarship. So Hope Scholarship looks at only core academics. For this GPA, it's only English, math, science, social studies, and modern language courses. And academic dual enrollment classes, getting a B or a C in a class actually gets a little bit of an extra boost in a weight, just like AP classes, because those are more difficult than your standard regular or honors level classes at the high school. And then for your Lumpkin County high school GPA, dual enrollment classes, we only get a letter grade from the college. So we follow this scale over here on this slide as far as how it goes into your Lumpkin County high school GPA on your transcript. That's on the 100-point scale. So A's we bring in as 100 points in your GPA, B's are 89, C's are 79. If the college gives you credit, some colleges do not award credit with a D, but if they do award credit with a D, we will bring it in as credit that you've made towards high school graduation, and give you 70 points in your GPA there for a D. So overall, it is important when you're scheduling dual enrollment classes to definitely take them seriously, because they do impact GPA and future options for Hope Scholarship, other scholarships, college options when you leave high school, so it is very important to think about that. Next, we'll talk about UNG, University of North Georgia, for admissions requirements to do dual enrollment through UNG. UNG only lets 11th and 12th grade students participate in dual enrollment. So unfortunately, our 10th graders are not eligible. If it's the summer before your 11th grade, you can be eligible for UNG as well. So that summer before 11th grade, when you officially start in August, we change your grade level to 11th so you can be eligible during that time. UNG requires that students have a required high school curriculum, RHSC, GPA of a 3.25 or higher. This GPA requirement for UNG is calculated at UNG admissions. So here at Lumpkin County High School, us as counselors will not be able to 100% guarantee you that you meet this GPA until you've applied to UNG. So that's very important. You do have to be a very good student with your GPA to apply to do UNG dual enrollment, but they will determine if you have the necessary GPA. Sometimes it does occur where we have students who look like they may be a good fit and they're pretty close to the GPA, and then they apply to UNG, and UNG looks at their academics on their high school transcript and they're below the 3.25 and they can't accept that student. So that's something that does occasionally happen. They need a 3.25 or higher GPA. UNG has changed. They must require SAT or ACT minimum scores for students to participate in dual enrollment. When COVID first began, UNG was being pretty flexible, giving students options to use their PSAT scores or Accuplacer or things like that. And unfortunately, that is no longer available. Students must have an SAT or an ACT score to participate in UNG dual enrollment. So that's one of the things students will need to look at scheduling and doing during the spring or the summer before they start UNG. They need to have that SAT or the ACT score to qualify. So SAT scores that are required are listed here on this slide, as well as the ACT scores. They're actually, the requirements for dual enrollment are a little bit higher than their incoming freshman students. And that's because UNG really wants to verify that if we have 11th and 12th grade students who are doing these college classes to both get college credit as well as high school graduation required credits, that they're really at a good place academically and to be able and be prepared for this college level coursework. So the SAT or ACT is required with these scores that are listed. The steps to do UNG dual enrollment are listed on this slide as well. So the first step is students will need to complete the application at UNG's website. When they select dual enrollment as their student type, it will be a free application. Once you've applied to UNG online, please notify your Lumpkin County school counselor so we can send your school transcript over there to UNG. Next, you'll need to submit your own SAT or ACT scores. If you're registering online to take the SAT or the ACT, students and families will have the option to list, hey, we're interested in these scores being sent to UNG up front, so they get a copy of those scores when they come in. Otherwise, you'll have to log back in your SAT or ACT account to order those scores officially to be sent to UNG. Counselors cannot send your scores for your dual enrollment application. Then you'll need to submit proof of lawful presence. This is typically a student's driver's license, official ID, or birth certificate. And then students also will need to complete a funding application. So this is how the college gets paid for your classes. Students will need a gafutures.org account, and students and parents will do their part to complete the 2022-23 funding application there at gafutures.org. And then finally, you'll need to check your application status for UNG, check your email, because they will be sending you information if you don't qualify for any reason, if they're waiting on your SAT or ACT scores, if they need more information, you'll be able to see that on your application status. Next, I'll talk about Lanier Technical College dual enrollment requirements. These are very similar if students are interested in North Georgia Technical College or another technical college online. They pretty much all have the same requirements, but this is the most common school our students go through is through Lanier Technical College. For Lanier Tech, students in grades 10 through 12 can participate for dual enrollment. For 10th graders, they can only take career technical classes. So that's the career tech classes directly in the major. So a business management class or a cosmetology class or early childhood, something of that nature. Then 11th and 12th grade at Lanier Tech or two-year colleges, they also have the option not just of CTAE career tech classes, but taking academic core classes through the college as well. Lanier Tech has a variety of different scores that they accept. It really depends on what the student is interested in doing at the technical college, whether it's a certificate, a diploma, a degree program. Are they trying to take cosmetology classes versus English or math or other core classes? So students who are interested in going and doing their application for a two-year technical college like Lanier Tech to do dual enrollment, please see your counselor during the application process, and we can work with the student and the family to determine what you may already have in order to satisfy the testing requirement that's needed. They do take SAT and ACT tests scores, but a lot of the time students can qualify for dual enrollment for Lanier Tech through their PSAT scores if they're high enough, their HOPE GPA, which is their academic core GPA here in high school. And then Lanier Tech, if at all possible, if students have none of these things that qualify, students can also take a free test at Lanier Tech called the AccuPlacer to qualify for dual enrollment as well. Students at the two-year colleges have a range of options that are available if they're just interested in academic core classes like English, math, science, those types of things. That is a program called Interdisciplinary Studies. It's a degree level program and it has the highest level scores needed at the two-year college to qualify for dual enrollment. And then there's also lots of degree, diploma, certificate programs available where students can get a head start in a specific career if they're especially looking at going to this two-year college level when they graduate high school. So they're a lot further ahead when they leave high school by using state funding for these dual enrollment college classes. And then they're that much further ahead when they graduate. So examples might be at Lanier Tech, students might be interested in computer science programs, EMT or nursing or various medical programs, dental assisting, cosmetology, early childhood, construction, automotive, marine technology, to name a few. So there's a lot of different options available at our two-year technical college partners for dual enrollment as well. The first option here to start the process, if you want to do this, is to visit laniertech.edu at their website and complete the dual enrollment application. It will be free when students select that they're a dual enrollment student. Next, you'll need to notify your Lumpkin County High School counselor, and again, we'll send your high school transcript over to Lanier Tech once you've told us you've done the application. Then when you're talking with us about sending your transcript, we can double check what scores that you have available, whether it's your PSAT or your HOPE GPA to qualify for dual enrollment, or we can advise you if you need to go ahead and take the AccuPlacer over at Lanier Tech to qualify. You'll need to submit proof of lawful presence. This is typically your official ID, like your driver's license, your birth certificate, things like that. You can email that to the admissions office at Lanier Tech. You'll need to complete a funding application at gafutures.org. This is how the college gets paid for your college classes. Both student and parent will need to be on gafutures.org and complete that 2022-23 funding application. And then finally, again, the theme is check your email. The college will be letting you know if they're missing something to process your application. So students, whatever email you list on your application, that's what you should be checking. The dual enrollment process. So I've kind of talked about it with both of our two major colleges students go through, UNG and Lanier Tech, but here's a full kind of list of the process. So both student and parent, we really ask that you identify that you're interested in dual enrollment and bring that up, discuss that with either myself, Ms. Dietrich, or Ms. Irvin, your school counselor, so we can talk about what your thoughts are, what are your interests, how is that maybe going to potentially look in your high school schedule for next school year. After you discuss your interests, you'll need to complete a gafutures.org account for the student's social security number, and then the student and the parent will complete the 2022-23 funding application. Then you'll need to select the college that you're wanting to do your credits through, whether it's UNG, Lanier Tech, or another one, and complete the college application online. And then you'll need to go ahead and send in those test scores to the college you apply to, and then request the school counselor. We send your high school transcript. You'll need to send in your own ID or other items that the college might request of you. And then again, student, parent, go ahead and keep watching your email for communications from the college. Once you are accepted to the college, the student will need to follow directions from the college to register for those dual enrollment classes. The high school cannot register a student for college classes. This is done at the college, so students do have to be prepared and mature enough to be checking that email, following steps, because there is detailed information the college will send them to be able to register for classes. And again, first served is how college works. So students who are early in the process of dual enrollment and get accepted first and do all of their setting up advising appointments and things early are able to get registered before classes start filling up at the college. The college dual enrollment has an office and advisors who specialize specifically in dual enrollment high school students, and the college staff is the one who will meet with the student to discuss courses at the college, what times, days, whether it's online or campus, what's available. They'll discuss the expectations for their college, student technology account, and then they'll actually register with the student to create their college schedule. Then here at the high school, at Lumpkin County High School, the college provides a copy of the college schedule to us at the counseling office, so we can go ahead and update a student's high school schedule, as well as putting in the classes a student has registered for into that GA Futures funding application. And then once that happens, the college can process the funding to be able to cover the cost of the courses. So I know that's a lot of information. It does take a little bit of steps and paperwork, but for students and families who are interested in this wonderful opportunity, the paperwork is worth the hassle and working through. So just make sure to communicate with the counselors here if there's things that we can help you with along the process. But ultimately, students and families are going to be the ones that have to make sure the paperwork is complete in time in order to be able to register for classes. A lot of the times we see students get hung up on not checking their email or their application status with the college after they've applied, or they're not checking their email to see that the college has already emailed them about setting up registration appointments to get their class schedule. So that's something students really have to own. They are going to be treated like college students here, and that's something that they really need to take care of. Once a student graduates from high school, there's a lot of wonderful funding opportunities here in the state of Georgia to help pay for their different classes. I'm going to talk about some of these major programs. The first one is Hope Scholarship. So Hope Scholarship pays about 75% of college tuition for our state schools here in Georgia. This requires a student graduates with a 3.0 or higher academic core Hope GPA, and they've taken at least 4 rigor classes. Rigor classes are typically your junior, senior level math, science classes, modern language classes like Spanish 2 or French 2 and above. So that's something that students have as an option for Hope Scholarship that can be done to help pay for classes at 2 or 4-year schools. Then Zell Miller Scholarship is the higher version of Hope Scholarship. It requires the same 4 rigor classes or more during their high school time. They also have to get a 3.7 or higher academic HOPE GPA when they graduate high school, and they need a 1200 or higher SAT test in one test date or a 26 or higher ACT in one test date. And then Zell Miller pays 100% of tuition for the 2 or the 4-year schools, so that's a great opportunity for students. HOPE Grant is available at our 2-year technical colleges for students who are going into certificate or diploma programs. Really, to be eligible for the HOPE Grant, it pays a good portion of tuition over there at the 2-year technical schools like Lanier Tech, North Georgia Tech, Gwinnett Tech. It pays a large portion. All they really need to do is graduate from high school and go into a 2-year program, the certificate or diploma program at those 2-year schools, and maintain a GPA of 2.0 or higher at the college and be a Georgia resident for 2 or more years before they graduate high school. So that's a great funding opportunity for students. Zell Miller Grant is the higher version of that for students at the 2-year technical schools. They have to maintain a college GPA of 3.5 or higher, but just be a Georgia resident, be in a certificate or a diploma program at the 2-year schools, and they get 100% of their tuition paid for. Also available here in the state of Georgia, the HOPE Career Grant. There's a lot of high demand positions and career fields that the state identifies. They update it every year. But it basically, in combination with their other financial aid, students can get this grant. It's free money they don't have to pay back for just being in a high demand major career field at a 2-year school like Lanier Tech or North Georgia Tech. So there's a lot of great funding available for students when they leave high school, no matter what their interest is, whether it's a university level education or just getting a quick certificate to work, earn money, and figure out life a little bit. There's a lot of great things here in Georgia that we're happy to help our students throughout the process figure out what works for them individually. And just as a reminder for our family and parents, we do have the Indian Memo available that comes out to you every Friday that has a weekly schedule of all things Lumpkin County High School with sports events, games, different club meetings, and things like that. It's a great way to stay connected and involved what's going in here at the high school. To sign up, we have the URL, tinyurl.com/Indian Memo, or feel free to email Ms. McPherson, the assistant principal for curriculum, and she can get you added to the distribution list so you receive the Indian Memo every Friday to stay in the know about what's happening at Lumpkin County. Also, our team here at Student Services is here to help you with anything. We do have a list of our Student Services staff here on this slide. We're here to help you with any questions that you have as far as academic planning, services available for our students. Feel free to reach out to any of us at any time. Our counseling website is also listed here, lch-counseling.weebly.com, and we try to do a great job of uploading and updating information as it comes along during the year to help you and your students plan for their time in high school as well as beyond. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And again, if you do have any questions, please reach out to any of us and we'll be happy to assist you.